Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to cover the CIA-assisted coup that overthrew the government of Premier Mohammed Mossaddeq. If you haven't already, I highly recommend you watch my previous video on the Pahlavi dynasty. Before we start, I think it's a good idea to point out that a lot of the information we know about the coup comes from declassified documents from 2013 and more recent documents that have been declassified this year. Now that is said, let's continue. Mossaddeq came to power in Iran in 1951 when he was selected as premier. Mossaddeq was an extreme nationalist. He instantly began attacks on British oil companies operating in Iran, calling for taking the British's property, claiming it was in the purpose of public interest and nationalization of the oil fields. Mossaddeq's actions caused conflict with the pro-Western elites of Iran and the Shah, Mohammed Reza Pahlavi. In mid-1952, the Shah dismissed Mossaddeq, but this created massive public riots, accusing the action of dismissal, and forced the Shah to reinstate Mossaddeq. In only a short amount of time, this event drew the interest of the US officials who watched the events take place within Iran and grew suspicious. This led to British intelligence teaming up with the American CIA to conclude that Mossaddeq had communist leanings and would move Iran in a Soviet direction if he was allowed to stay in power. The CIA and British intelligence worked with the Shah and began to plan on how they would overthrow Mossaddeq. However, Mossaddeq heard about the plan and called for his supporters to protest on the streets. At this point, the Shah left the country for supposed medical reasons. Even though the British intelligence stepped back from the disaster, the CIA continued its top-secret operations in Iran. The CIA worked with pro-Shah forces, and most notably the Iranian military. The CIA persuaded, threatened, and bribed its way into power, and helped to organize another coup attempt against Mossaddeq. On August 19, 1953, the military, backed by street protesters that were organized and funded by the CIA, overthrew Mossaddeq. The Shah quickly returned to take power, and to thank the Americans for the help, signed over 40% of Iran's oil fields to the US companies. Mossaddeq was arrested and served 3 years in prison. He later died under house arrest. In 1967, Mohammed Reza Pahlavi became one of America's most trusted Cold War allies, and this came to benefit Iran as US economic and military aid flowed into Iran during the 1950s, 60s, and 70s. Unfortunately, in 1978, many anti-Shah and anti-American protests broke out, and the Pahlavi dynasty collapsed in 1979. Angry revolutionaries took control of the US Embassy and held the American staff hostage until January 1981. It turned out that nationalism, and not communism, was the most serious threat to the US power in Iran. Upon researching about the coup, I found some interesting maps that showed how the operation was planned out. The operation was split into 4 phases. Here is the first phase, the Great Demonstration. This map shows the disposition of bands of ruffians paid to demonstrate by the coup organizers. Early on August 19, 1953, the bands gathered in Bazaar and other sections of southern Tehran, then moved north through the capital. Thug leaders' names appeared at the left, along with the estimated size of their groups and their targets. Phase 2, the injection of armed forces and undercover agents. Pro-Shah police, military units, and undercover agents became engaged in the coup mid-morning August 19th. Phase 3, tank deployment and entrapment. Tanks played a critical role on August 19th, with pro-Shah forces gaining control of some 24 of them from the military during the course of the day. Lastly is Phase 4, attaining the targets. Anti-Mossaddeq armed forces converged on his house beginning around 4 p.m., eventually forcing him to escape over a garden wall before his house was destroyed. By that point, the whole nation was addressed by the radio transmission station. So what do you guys think about the coup? Let me know in the comment section below. We will never really know the full story behind the coup because agency officials have stated that most of the records of the coup were either lost or destroyed in the 1960s. Supposedly due to the record holders' safes were too full. So I'll have to leave you with that. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.